Why do women cry for celebrities? What are you doing? I have this friend.
Whoa, cut. You don't have any friends.
Okay, listen, I said a friend. I have a friend, and he does, I have a friend, and he does video work, and he was doing this Justin Bieber documentary thing out in Vancouver, and he went to one of these things where the girls pay like $3,000 to like pet his head and say what's up, whatever they do. So he goes into this, and he sat outside, he was waiting for these girls, and these are now women, right? Because I've grown up with Justin Bieber, and they were between like 17 and 22 years old, and he said the one thing that he couldn't believe is that every single one of them coming out of that room was crying. So what's going on? Why do women cry so much? And so here's the deal. The first thing you need to know is this is proven. There have been studies that show that women cry more than men. One clinical psychology study that came out of Tilburg University in the Netherlands looked at over 5,000 people in over 37 different countries, and it found that men cry between 6 and 17 times a year. Women, over 40. It's like 30 to 67 times they're crying in a year. And it's not just because you guys watch The Notebook more often, because believe me, I watch the movie all the time.
Okay, relax, Ryan Gosling, relax. The question is though, why? Why are women crying so much? And scientists say it's probably really simple and comes down to size. Men are bigger in the tear ducts. Now imagine if a little martini glass was a female tear duct and a big beer mug was a male tear duct, and you poured water at the exact same rate into both, inevitably the teeny tiny martini glass tear duct is going to overflow, not only more frequency, but with greater gusto. Probably over Justin Bieber.
I just don't buy that it's all about real estate. So there's also some studies, there's also a theory that shows that it has to do with a little hormone called prolactin. So what they found is that prolactin is actually inside the tears. And prolactin is something that's generated from the pituitary gland. And that pituitary gland is sort of what drives and manages emotion. In women, they produce 60% more prolactin than men. And what's interesting is that before puberty, the prolactin levels are the same, and so are the crying levels. So prolactin might be the answer.
So you're saying I could just blame it on prolactin?
You
I don't
could.
know, honey, it's just my prolactin. Okay, I'm not even upset. It's just my prolactin. I'll share a little story with you. When I was probably in the department of 22 years old, I went to New York City and I was walking down the street, and the show The Producers was just letting out, and Matthew Broderick was there. And I'm thinking, what's the big deal? He was sort of small with a little ball cap and a backpack.
He's really small.
He was really small. And I'm thinking, no big deal. And then he looped around and he came over to me, and out of nowhere, I was like, Ferris Bueller is my favorite movie of all time. It's the prolactin.
So I've been reading a lot about this, and I have a theory. It's backed by some evidence and some studies. Nobody's actually really said this out loud, but I have a bit of a theory. There's this condition called parasocial interaction, and parasocial interaction is essentially this feeling like you have a two-way connection with a media personality with which there's clearly only a one-way connection. So, you think you and Bob Barker are buddies, but obviously Bob doesn't know who the hell you are. That started to come up in psychology in the 50s. What was also happening in the 50s, though? Daytime television was booming, women's television was booming, and women were stuck at home with nobody. Right? The dudes are off doing the dude thing, and we're sticking them at home by themselves. So all they're doing, not all they're doing, I mean, I wasn't there to see that was everything they were doing, but they're stuck at home, with their friends and attending the home, and the TV's running, and they're interacting with these characters. So I actually think that there is some sort of social carryover from back in the day that lends women more to feeling what they think is a real connection with celebrities, more so than men.
This makes perfect sense. Think about it, ladies. Not only in the 50s or 60s, but the 70s, 80s, and 90s, soap operas are designed for women.
My mom loved soap operas.
Stay-at-home wives and mothers, and when they're done all their cooking and cleaning, probably barefoot and pregnant, what do they do but watch their soap operas and think that, them and Susan Lucci, Erica Kane, they go way back, long time, real friends. What you don't understand, Ben, is that obviously Michael Fassbender and Ryan Reynolds and Jake Gyllenhaal want to have sex with me.
I genuinely believe you believe that. Anyways, we gotta go. We're out. Feel free to cry about that. But see you next time on Generation Y.
And send this to all the men I just mentioned so they have sex with me.
They won't.